Welcome to my humble little office. My name is R. Keith Andrews. I am a spiritual guide and paranormal adept. The journey continues today on June 29th, 2021 at approximately 10:25 a.m. PST. Let's start off with a bizarre setup. My apologies for yesterday. As I was going to give you the answer to a question before the end of the video and then got sidetracked with a bunch of other things I was saying. Net result is I didn't get to the answer, so I'm starting off with the answer. The question I asked you yesterday was, what is the number one religion on the planet today? Now, understanding a religion is supposed to, the way I understood it, the religions are supposed to bring you a sense of community. They're supposed to bring you, a sense of belonging. They're supposed to help you find a connection with people. And many religions ask for a tithe, as in money. Well, here's the thing. With all that in mind, okay, and then, by the way, they also tend to bring about a definitive way of talking to each other. Okay, each religion seems to vary one to the next. Now, I couple this religion with that neat little fear everybody says so many people seem to have about when the government is going to start shipping us. Well, the funny part about it is the answer to the question, in my opinion, is real simple. The number one religion, the number one religion across the world, and it is unifying every what people tend to call first world nations. Okay, anywhere technology is available, this religion is there. The religion is called technology. Okay, people have chosen technology over people. They have chosen to focus on the toys that technology can provide, regardless of the consequences. This is an even greater problem than what money itself is. Okay, technology is causing people to do absolutely bizarre things. Now, there are some religions that take the members' focus and take it all the way away. Technology encourages people to spend their money left, right, and center. Okay, often at the neglect of their other responsibilities, including family. Many people put technology as a priority over any sort of communication with family, any sort of actual communication. Okay, now, even with the whole mess over the last year and a half, 2 years here, guess it is almost 2 years. Okay, even with that, with that as a reason, people still had the option of talking to each other. You still could be outside, stay a little distant, and talk to each other. But people chose technology as a way of dealing with it. This is why I call it the number one religion. It has unified the whole world in a lot of ways. Okay, not the least of which is computers around the world speak the same language. It's called binary. Okay, and if you can figure out how to translate it, if you as an individual can figure out how to translate it and make it work in your favor, you can communicate with people on any part of the planet. Now, in what they call New Age religions, you do that through telepathy. Okay, in most of the mainstream religions, you still have to use technology in order to do it. Even the evangelical ministers, the ones that have been standing up in front of millions of people or thousands of people if it's local, okay, they have turned to technology to bolster their own religions. Okay, well, that's kind of like turning to a different god to get your god to do something. I don't know about you, but I still don't have a lot of use for it. I use technology, don't get me wrong. But it is time people start realizing that technology itself, if you think about it, okay, when we take a look at this, people talk about being chipped. Standard cell phone, okay, standard everyday run-of-the-mill, has a chip in it. That chip, the technology departments, okay, whether the government or business, they still know exactly where you are. Hence why you've got these funny little things where you can go ping, and there's where my cell phone is. You can do it off of pretty much any computer. So if you're wondering if you're being watched, the answer is absolutely yes. The reality is that most people don't care what you're buying for groceries, whether you're getting a good deal on rice, or whether you're getting a good deal on your on your pop, or many people's cases, whether you get a good deal on your beer. But the reality is, it is being tracked. If it wasn't, governments couldn't come up with even functional numbers to work with to figure how much of each industry is generating how much income. Okay, and yet people, I've seen people when they have a power outage, they go into absolute failure, like they go into complete chaos if their computer won't turn on. Okay, and many teenagers in today's world have this other little problem, and many adults for that matter. Let's say everything's working great, your power is working, but oh my gosh, your gaming system collapsed. Now we've got a problem. Okay. Now, in the world today, we have a very simple issue, and this is where one of my major personal goals is. The reason I've returned is to pass on one simple message: working together, we can make this a better world. This technology that's out here, we can put to use to communicate, to deal with the negative issues around us that we're not happy with. Okay. And this is where it starts. You start with your own world. Okay, and understand energy works simple. It starts in the spiritual realm, gets to the emotional feel of it, gets moved up into the brain where you can logically figure out a plan to make it happen. Once you've got that in place, then it moves into the physical world where you can do something with it. Now, with technology the way it is, I'm not telling you who to worship, but I will tell you this. I knew a kid when I was a child. There was one chap in our neighborhood that decided that literally started worshiping a light bulb. Now, because of that, he used to pray to the light bulb every day. His parents realized it was a problem, didn't know who to talk to, right? So they just made sure they swapped the light bulb out on a regular basis. Okay, and to ensure that it never went out. Well, unfortunately, one day, this particular gentleman, ended up, he was praying to his light bulb, and the light bulb winked out. The parents had forgotten to change the bulb, and it burnt out, right smack in the middle of a prayer. Unfortunately, the kid's mind snapped, and they ended up having to have him institutionalized. I've seen the same kinds of behavior, but not to that extreme, with many people when they've got a gaming system and all of a sudden the gaming system collapses. Oh my gosh, what are we going to do? We've got all these games we really want to play. And then they get testier and testier and unfortunately more aggressively testy. And this heat wave we're going through isn't helping. Okay. But people are drawn to this stuff. And of course, along with the technology, with technology being such a vast component in our life. Okay, picture what would happen in your life if all of a sudden you were left without power. Okay, I myself am already starting to compensate for that possibility, but there's only one thing I'm missing right now, and that is a manual can opener. Now, ironically, or rather fortunately, I found out a neat little rule, a neat little thing years ago. Okay, and that was, if you have a common nose screwdriver, a hammer, and an extra person to hold on to it, you can actually get a can open without a can opener. Okay, it takes a lot of work. It is not a neat job, but it does work. Okay, now what you have to look at is, okay, are you content with your life the way it is? If you look at technology, has it become such a big part of your life that you are ignoring the world around you, that you're missing the communication of your, even the people you want, that you like, never mind your bloodline family? Now, I'm happy to say that I had mentioned a few days ago that I had a personal issue that I had to deal with with somebody I had lost contact with. And in all fairness, I had been the one that cut contact. I'm happy to say I managed to put that back together. At least in my eyes. They seem happy enough with it, and now we move forward. Okay. I strongly encourage you, if you are disconnected from somebody that you wish you weren't, do not wait for them to reach out to you. Okay, reach out to them. Now, there are certain circumstances where that doesn't work quite well, but in most cases, if it is just a question of not knowing, of not having that connection, don't wait until they reach out. Reach out yourself. Okay. Now, technology has its uses. Okay. For instance, the fact that you're listening to this video at all is because technology is here. The fact you're listening to this at all is because the oil industry is up and running. It is because of the fact that various countries have figured out a way to get along long enough to put all of the components together. So you don't have to be right here in Kelowna. Like, I'm in Kelowna, BC, Canada. And you don't have to be here, okay, to talk to me or to get this message. Because countries and corporations have figured out how to get along well enough to put computers and the entire internet system together, it proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that it is possible for the people in different countries to get along, to work on a similar project. Okay, same as the different religions. When you look at how much technology has infiltrated every religion on the planet, okay, well, I shouldn't say on the planet. There's a few of the Aboriginal ones, and I'm referring to the people that are totally disconnected from technology. There are a few that technology doesn't affect. Okay, and in my opinion, quite often these people are actually in better shape than the ones that technology has infected. I call it infected because it has with an infection, it takes away your ability to function in certain capacities. Technology has absolutely, in my opinion, crippled people's willingness and ability to communicate because they find it so much easier to use technology to text where messages can get screwed up. If you don't respond, I'm sorry, I didn't get that message. Right? You just blame it on technology and nobody bothers with it. Or few people do anyway. Okay, this is why I say and why I mention that where it comes to technology, that is the new mainstream religion. Okay, and I know there's a bunch of you out there that are going to go, that's not actually a religion. I understand that. But look at the reality behind it. People are drawn to it. People race to get the newest connection. They race to get the newest computer. Little do they think about the fact that, from my understanding, by the time that a computer hits the market, it's already 6 months out of date. Okay, so you're not going to get state-of-the-art. You're just not. Okay, but technology has unified the world in many capacities. Okay, and this is why I say money itself is not the root of all evil. And technology is neither. It just gives us a really solid focal point, but it has enabled people to get along from one country to the next. Okay, if you'll notice, there are definite similarities between places. Yes, I'm melting here. That's just the way that goes. Okay, welcome to temperature here. I mean, we're pushing 100 degrees right now and climbing. I don't know offhand what it is. Just checking right now because now I'm nosy. 28 is 50 is 62. Yeah, we're at about 94 here, I think, right now, as far as the States goes. We're at 34 here right now, as far as Canada goes. Okay, and it is getting warmer. Which is really wonderful in a way. Not really in my eyes. Because we are supposed to get somewhere close to 44 this afternoon. Okay, which 44 would be 34, 60. Somewhere close to 110. Okay. But where it comes to, and that again, that is simply one of these neat little things called technology. Push a couple of buttons and all of a sudden you got an idea where you're standing. In my opinion, okay, is technology bad? No. But then again, I don't see religion as being bad. As I mentioned a few days ago, absolutely imperative that people find a communication and find a support group of any form that is of a like mind, given that you follow the 3 karmic laws. Be true to yourself, do unto others as you desire them to do unto you. Energy out, energy in. Okay, those 3 laws will absolutely, if you follow those, from everything I've seen, you'll be fine. Now, if you're following some sort of doctrine, take a look at whatever the guidelines are that you've got and see if they fit inside those three laws. My suspicion is you'll find they do. Even if you're looking at company policies, if you run your own business, take a look at the way you're running it, look at the policies you've got, see if those policies fit inside those 3 karmic laws. Okay, now, years ago, I found a variation on the theory of relativity. And that variation is actually this: 1 plus 1 equals 3. Now, intriguingly enough, it is not a mathematical formula. Okay, and this is why I say, because we have, if you look at everything, okay, take a look at it. You've got whatever the one item is, the other item on the other end of the scale. Then the number 3 is everything in between. Okay, it's whatever is neither A nor B. Okay, so from that standpoint, you know, we have to look at the reality that technology has taken a massive grip on people. When you couple that with the fear that is being propagated by individuals, like I came to the conclusion a while ago, I don't even consider the major media forms as a problem anymore. I used to, up until about a week or so back, when it dawned on me, okay, when I vocalized what dawned on me, and that was that before the internet, I used to think, like many people, the media was the problem. The media was putting out all this negative stuff and focusing on it. It wasn't until the internet came out that it really hit, even when the BBSs were a mainstream. Even then, it didn't dawn on me. But when the internet came out and people had full access to point and to print stuff, to post stuff from all over the world, okay, it was then that it dawned on me. The problem isn't with the media. The problem is with the individuals, with people just like you. Okay, just like myself. Okay, the difference with me is, you know, granted, I don't post a whole lot. And I repost very little. But the fact of the matter is, the majority of what gets reposted and posted is violence, crime, embarrassment, you know, loss, all these negative things. Very little gets posted that says, hey, look at this. Like, I've been watching a few videos lately that show animals help animals of different species helping animals of other species. Okay, humans need to get this message. If nature can pull that off, then mankind can pull it off where it's just a skin color problem. Okay, or just an orientation problem. If carnivores can help herbivores, then frankly, white people can help Hispanics, black people can help Chinamen. You know, it doesn't matter. Everybody is absolutely equally valuable. And it's going to take every being in existence working together to bring this planet back to a state of paradise where we can all get along, where we can relax, where stress can collapse so it's not a big problem. Sorry about that. had to sneeze and didn't figure you needed to see it. Anyway, probably didn't need to know that. Do give us a thumbs up on this video, subscribe to our channel, and remember to hit that alert bell that tells you when the next video comes up. Okay, in that way you'll be able to get the rest of the information coming out. Okay, and if you have questions, below all of my videos you'll find a list of different contact points, different ways to get a hold of me. So if you've got a question in any field, doesn't matter what, drop me a line. I've been working in the consulting field now for 48 years, sorry. Professionally for about 35, as in generating an income. But that said, the whole issue, one of my big goals at this point is to get this message out to everybody on the planet and everybody beyond, for the ones that are watching from beyond. Yeah, I know that sounds weird, but this is one of the reasons why I'm listed as a specialist in alien technologies and alien cultures. Now, of course, there are people that will tell me, oh, you just got a phenomenal imagination here, and you're banking on that. Because on top of everything else, I'm also a science fiction, science fantasy author. Of course, to be honest with you, I'm also self-help, children's, and poetry, as well as reference manual. So, do I have a reasonable number of things I've got on the go? Probably unreasonable in some ways. But the big thing I look at, I spend a lot of time in front of my computer, and a lot of the time when I'm talking, I sort of sit here, I'm looking at myself, which puts me looking into the camera, and a lot of what I am reiterating, much of it actually helps me stay focused on what I'm aiming for, okay, in my other goals. Okay, and one of those other goals, yeah, in case you're wondering why I'm using my right hand right now, which you're probably not, but my left hand doesn't have the strength for this kind of weight. Working on it. But where it comes to technology, okay, do I consider it the newest religion? Absolutely. Do I worship it? No, but I don't worship anything else. This does not mean I'm agnostic. Well, actually, it does mean I'm agnostic. It's not atheist. I do believe in, myself, and this is not necessarily your way, and it doesn't matter to me if it is. I believe in a higher power that I call God. I do not believe in what is listed in the Bible as the description of God, because the God I worship I don't worship. The God I listen to does not inspire fear in me. He does not he does not get disappointed in me, confused on occasion, I'm sure of it. Okay, but then I confuse myself a lot of the time. But where it comes to getting your life in order, take a look at what's going on with you. Ask yourself this: are you content with the way your life is going right now? If the answer is yes, that's absolutely great. Spread the word, let people know that you're happy. Let people know why you're happy. Okay. It's the same thing as if you've got to end a relationship, end a connection with somebody. Let the other person know why you're ending it. It's not necessary. It's not a question of it being necessary. It's a question of it being right. Okay. And what I mean by right is this: do unto others as you desire them to do unto you. Okay. And the reason for that, if somebody all of a sudden cuts contact with you and just walks away, you're going to feel lost without closure. This is why when people have a child that unfortunately goes missing, or a loved one that goes missing, and they get listed with the police as a missing person, until the police find either the individual missing or they get proof that the individual has passed away, the person that is left behind, or the people that are left behind, are left with no closure. Now, nobody wants to find out that their missing child is dead, but it is better to find out they're dead than it is to be left wondering what happened. Okay, now, with that in mind, if you take care of your own life, like if you take care of the things that you're not content with in your life, and you change them so you're content with what's going on, that will enable you to deal with the stresses of the rest of the world. Okay, when you're out of the house, it'll enable you to deal more effectively because you won't have the stress you're generating yourself. You'll be able to more efficiently deal with the stresses generated by other people. Net result, you won't add to their stresses. They'll be able to go home and have a slightly better day. Okay, now, one of the biggest drawbacks, see, technology is both the greatest religion and the greatest addiction on the planet as far as I'm concerned. Now, when we take that into consideration, then we go to the other thing. The two most wasted commodities on the planet are the wisdom of the seniors and the enthusiasm of the kids. Okay, and just take a look at that and ask yourself this: are you lacking either of those commodities, or are you ignoring them? This does not mean that seniors have all the answers, but it does mean, if you think about it, especially if you're a parent, you had to teach your child, or I'm betting you had to teach your child, or get somebody else to, how to simply use the toilet. Okay, that is the wisdom of the seniors. The enthusiasm of the youngsters are the ones that go out and do what we may consider a little bit odd, but they'll go out and try new things. Okay, sometimes that gets to be a problem. Okay, especially if you've got a kid that likes to taste everything that's available. Sometimes that's a really bad idea, and that's where the wisdom comes back in. Okay, but at the same time, and I find this specifically with technology, okay, my munchkin he's 16. Okay, I'm almost 50, and well, I am 58, almost 58, passed that a couple months ago. I'm 58, and I turn to him because he's got the enthusiasm to work with the modern technology and the comprehension of it. I still have a lot of trouble dealing with it. This is why I say I'm not perfect by any functional stretch. But I will tell you, from my standpoint, I'm a whole lot more comfortable, especially in the last couple of days. As soon as I realized two major wake-up calls. One is life is very much like a video game. You have major goals. Go back 2 or 3 days, and you can hear all about that one. Okay. Today being the 29th, so probably about the 25th or 26th, I did a video where I concentrated on the similarity between life itself and video games. I realized that, and then within 24 to 36 hours, it dawned on me. Not only is there that similarity, but the major religion, given what religion really seems to do, in my opinion, okay, has become technology. Okay, take a look at that seriously, and I'd love to hear your comments below regarding your take on it. Okay, and for absolute certainty, if you've got questions, drop me a line, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, remember to hit that alert bell, and then share the daylights out of the video. That would be greatly appreciated. I'm going to close it down now because I've got other things I've got to get done. I keep these to a half hour anyway, so I will be back tomorrow. Until then, take care of yourselves and each other, and for pity's sakes, stay positive.